Oh, snap. We are going into our final match of the day. I am Tempo, joined by Zombie Grub for the Kings of the North. It is
Mhm.
the top left-hand corner, representing OSC Elite. It is MaSa.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it is Scarlett.
Perfect timing with that extractor, by the way. I got a nice little slurp sound in my left ear when you did that.
Oh, God. Well, I wanted to emphasize that she is playing Zerg here up against MaSa, which she did, I believe, in the qualifiers, and
Oh,
had
boy.
some trouble against his drop style. That was when he wasn't just trying to copy Innovation's build. So we'll see what this best of three will look like. But she is going for an early pull with double early gas, really bringing it back to, I would say, months ago, where people were just going for the early Roach Rush.
Calamimo Terminal.
Yeah,
Ringing
there
bells
you
here.
go. Exactly.
Wow. All right. So for those that don't know, this is a pretty all-in build for the most part that relies on surprising your opponent with a Ravager or a couple of Ravagers and never allowing them to get any army units out or getting the wrong army units out if they decide to go right into Hellions, which I know MaSa has been a fan of for the most part.
Yeah. I feel like this is really just falling out of fashion, though. I mean, we have the occasional pull first into the Ling attack, and then occasionally on top of that, you get the Roach follow-up, or the Speedling follow-up, and that is really annoying to deal with. But it's like, I feel like, well, it is less committed than this, but because that became more and more popular, you had more SIV scouts, and
Yep.
I feel like that kind of maybe deterred people from ever going for a one-base build as a Zerg player. Well, MaSa, not SIV scouting, figuring that the Reaper, maybe he was planning on keeping it home, maybe he just thought that there'd be enough time, maybe he saw the hatchery was late to respond to whatever it was. Well, might not be expecting such early roaches.
No, I don't think he would right now. He's probably in his own zone, getting ready to go into, what he does best, which is usually like his very early aggression. Sometimes he likes to throw in the Liberator in there, but with the Lings already attacking those, the SCV, it makes me wonder if Scarlett timed it to go in, not when the Reaper just left, but at the time of an actual 17 pull, so it doesn't raise his of an even earlier pull.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit early, but then I would also chalk that up to Interloper being a bit smaller of a map.
True.
It looks like something is suspicious, though, whether he thinks it's going to be the follow-up on 2 bases, because I don't believe he ever actually scouted the natural.
Nope.
Well, doesn't matter now. The Ravagers are here.
Well, we're going to see if it's going to be able to be started. It's going to be a tank, though, so MaSa definitely realized something, but I usually see the Cyclone as the answer when you suspect it is going to be the Roaches and Ravagers, but oh man, tank's going to be pretty good, but I mean, it's just all it takes is 3 Ravager shots in order to take them out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the Cyclone sometimes is preferred, especially if you can reactor them out, but forced to make a decision. He has to keep the high ground away, basically like safe for the tank. He has to make sure the Ravagers never are allowed up once again, which, I mean, maybe they won't be, but if they are, they definitely will take out that tank.
Oh, and is moving towards the Ravagers, trying to stay in regular mode here.
Uh-oh. Oh, his barracks!
Oh, it's gonna die, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna die. So does the tank. So does MaSa.
So is he. Oh no. Very, very cheeky build out of Scarlett, but at this point, I mean, can you expect anything different? She's the master of cunning.
He does a lot of cheeky, funny builds, and that, as I said, was definitely a throwback. You expect the pool first, but not the super early pool in TVZ nowadays. So MaSa was, definitely blindsided.
I mean, going for the bunker on the low ground, so I don't think he believed it was going to be that specifically. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Scarlett with a very, very early Roach Ravager, and that Overlord, they don't give him enough credit. He is the MVP for giving that high ground, but it never even got to the point where the tank was ever able to siege up in a safe location. So yeah, that's usually why you see the Cyclones are a bit more mobile. You can repair them while they're being, while they're shooting. It's just like you get enough of them out, and all of a sudden you just shut down most of the early game that Zerg can do there off of one base, and you can counterattack with them because they're pretty quick moving through the map too. So.
Yeah, Cyclones, if you see this coming early enough, certainly you can try and get them. But while they're definitely an answer for the 2-base version, on 1 base, it is definitely like that. Like, well, a tank would secure on the high ground, be fine. But Cyclones might be more mobile. They also might just get shot. Like there are enough. Basically, you can't reactor them out that early.
Yeah.
They get shut down anyways. It's a tough hold, and certainly not scouting it. First problem. Second problem, bunker on the low ground. And then third problem, losing the wall to protect that tank.
Exactly. So a series of unfortunate events for our boy MaSa, but it is going to be Odyssey as our map number 2. And I wonder if MaSa is going to send out an SIV scouter, if he is going to just be like, she wouldn't do that twice. But if you know Scarlett, you know she probably would. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh man, I love watching her play because of the specifically that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that she's a fan favorite, and you can list off a dozen. But then one that is always going to be true is that she also just plays really weird and fun. You know, like everything else could be like, you know, the Canadian hype. No, maybe she's, I don't know, Australian. But
yeah,
people would still cheer for her because she's a fun playstyle.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. It is game number 2. I can't introduce these players without a smile on my face from just, it's just, I don't know, it's just funny to me. But in the top left-hand corner, representing OSC Elite, it is MaSa.
And in the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it is Scarlett.
MaSa changing his color up. Scarlett not.
Nah, she always uses pink. So she faces Zest, it's like a real struggle.
I know, right? Yeah. Or Stefano maybe too?
Yeah. Stefano loves pink as well.
Oh my god.
Well.
Okay, no, this isn't as early as before, but it definitely is a bit of an earlier gas.
Yeah. I think that was not even a 16 pool right there. Didn't she go down to 15, or was I mistaken? Like, it's usually like a 17-17, right?
Yeah, I think she ended up doing a 17,
earlier
16 instead, or something like that.
Okay.
Could have been a 16. No. Yeah.
We were totally paying attention.
I know. It happens sometimes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but the point is that it is a pool of gas first and foremost. So like the slight differences of the drones isn't so problematic as it was last game, where obviously all these things put down before your 14 is even on supply blocks. Like that's extreme. This one makes a lot more sense. Is what I was talking about. That is more popular. And MaSa, well, it looks like he's going to try and play just a confident Terran game again and not SEV scout. Yeah, he's not. That's just actually mining from the natural. So
wow,
problems basically.
Yep. And if he sends that Reaper out again, then that would be another issue. I'm thinking he's probably going to make a Marine after the Reaper if he doesn't want to send out the SCV Scout. Just to at least try to deal with like 2 lings. But I think Scarlett was making 4. No, she's making 6, right? So that's actually kind of a big deal too.
So my question, like sometimes you see people throw in 2 and then 4, just so like they actually don't give them any type of. They can kind of keep up appearances, because I think if you see 6 lings immediately, then the panic alarms go on for the Terran player. But
yep.
4 and then 2, that's just the way things go. The Reaper even scouts them, so that was nicely done on the Zelnaga.
All right, really nicely done there from MaSa, going to the Zelnaga first. Able to see this Reaper, or rather, able to see the lings with the Reaper. And yeah, Reaper can kill Infinity Lings, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially when they're this far out.
And the fact that he did see 6, right? Like that could have been 2 and the other 4 go a different direction, and that's like, okay, I already dealt with this. This is no problem. It's different. The fact that he saw 6 might be putting those alarm bells in his head, thinking like, okay, there could be a follow-up.
Yep.
Speedlings or roaches. He has no idea. There's no SCV and the Reaper's still over here.
And he hasn't seen speed just yet. And now we see speed, so he knows that at least 100 gas went into it. So it's not going to be like a super early Roach Warren. But what is his plan? After seeing all that, he never went to the other side of the map. It just basically was, I assume you went pool first, you got speed. What else do I need to do?
Yeah, it really is unfortunate that Scarlett couldn't get any time taken away from building this command center, because the follow-up of Speedling sometimes can't even get the cancel.
Yeah.
Does it really go poorly? So it's actually a very good defense so far for MaSa, who is going into 2-base starport. But Scarlett, she has her own even further tricky things in mind here. She saw 1 starport, but not the other, yet she's already going for a lair off of 2 bases.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta imagine, this is still a developing meta with this 2-port Banshee, but I gotta imagine that having a Spire as quick as possible and an Overseer as quick as possible is a good way to start things off.
Oh yeah, and if she was able, she didn't get to see what the add-on was, but even against like ranged Liberator styles, I mean, not one you're gonna really see on this map, I don't think, but getting that 2-base Spire, it kind of went out of fashion. But if you're reading into the meta and trying to shut it down without actually scouting it or just, you know, feeling it out and saying, okay, I've seen this happen a lot of the times. And if I can jump on this and it looks like a really good win for me.
Yeah. So Scarlett has been in Canada, I think, for about a month now, I want to say. Yeah, I think so. She left shortly after I did from Korea.
Okay.
I bring it up because I wondered if she was ever, I don't think she's ever a practice partner with Innovation, but the latter, obviously.
Yep.
I would have wondered if she had a lot of experience against double port, basically, is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
But because she was in Canada, I don't know. I don't think she plays on the Korean server when she's living back at home, so that might not be the case. But she seems to have already had some ideas at how to scout it, and I'm sure she's playing against MaSa, who's continuing to try and improve on it.
Yep.
And Spire seems to be the way she thinks is the best path.
Yeah, and I've even seen like the third base being taken before by the Zerg player, and then just making it so that your initial burst of Muta isn't as much, but she's going full Muta here. You know, 2 base delaying the third by a significant amount of time. It's actually, you know, like it's an old school style. Like this is an older style of a build. Even not worrying about the Banshees coming over to her side. I think she might make like 1 Overseer, but I'm surprised she hasn't put down any Spore Crawlers or anything like that either. She knows her timing.
Yeah.
She's a lot better than me, that's for sure.
that's true. She could still put on a Spore Blade right now. I think it's still
yeah.
She might also just think she doesn't need it. You know, the chances are fairly low that they get around the mutas somehow. It happens. Like War Prisms get around the mutas, Banshees get around the mutas all the time, but it's like generally you're going to be on them, causing them to react faster. Just 2-base layer is really that quick.
Yep.
And obviously starports take quite a while to actually invest into with how much is necessary. So she might just be thinking something along those lines. And MaSa is now preparing for the factory swap off. But with the mutas out, they don't only just shut down the Banshees potentially hardcore, like just on full stop.
Yeah.
They're also going to deny a third base from landing on location easily.
Wow, yeah, they're already halfway across the map. MaSa hasn't even attacked just yet. But this is going to be a pretty tough hold for Scarlett. You know, she's going to get a lot of damage done, that's for sure. And would be able to clean it up in the end. But how much damage is she actually going to take here? The Hellions are going to be able to get some good damage if they actually go out.
I think just really didn't expect them to bypass her mutas so at such like a key moment, you know, but that ended up working out quite perfectly. Apparently he's going to lose all of his SCVs.
Oh my god.
A base or just a lot of drones. The Queens died before the Overseers were able to make here. I mean, they probably could have sniped 1 Banshee, but even that would have been it. So this is turning into an economic trade here. I can't quite call it a base trade yet.
No, hey.
Yeah.
But with the Spores coming out, Banshees could still take down these Spore Crawlers, but it looks like MaSa wants to go for the Spire instead. But he's losing everything at home. He gets a turret up finally, but I think Scarlett is just targeting down the SCVs.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about the mutas, it seems. Wants to get as much damage as possible.
I'm surprised by that. I think she still wants to definitely keep some mutas alive, but she was willing
to kill the Banshees and stuff too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like the Banshee is still a real threat here. I think they're just chasing or running away from Queens.
Yeah, there are 2 Widow Mines here. MaSa's trying to rely on Widow Mines, and that Scarlett is going to be a little bit more careless.
Well, so much for the Banshees. The reinforcing mutas ended up taking care of them with the help of a couple Spore Crawlers and Queens, and the mutas here are still alive, so I guess Scarlett ends up getting the better end of the trade, and as such will probably win the game.
Yeah, I would say so. MaSa does not have an answer. He's going to lose the command center here, and he's basically banking for Scarlett to just go in there, fly over the Widow Mines, lose everything, and then triple mule his way back into this game. But even if Scarlett were to get a Overseer, I think the Widow Mines are not going to really reign supreme here. She could fly out one of the mutas, sacrifice that if she really needs to. And that's the 3rd command center. This is not going to be triple command center if that one goes down.
She might even want to let the splash hit the command center. Yeah, there you go.
Boom. Keep in mind. Wow, that was the quickest day of Kings of the North ever.
Yeah, it took an hour.
Wow, yeah, it actually did.
Sweet.
Holy moly.
That's cool. So I guess the important, so this is like for seeding, right? Like Swiss group stage, and we have Scarlett undefeated, Neeb undefeated, MaSa ends up taking one loss. So that's
technically Neeb lost 1 game to Puck.
I guess it does. That does matter, I suppose, in a
so,
group stage. So
after today, I think
Scarlett ends up being number 1. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That is a good point.
Hot damn. Yeah, you look at this. Well, obviously, it probably is going to get updated after this, guys. But you know, you take what it is and then add what happened today. And I mean, it's kind of hard to know exactly, but for those that don't know, Suppy ended up winning his series. Neeb won his series, and if you're just tuning in, and you're like, "Yo, I can't wait to watch some StarCraft," well, I'm sorry to break your heart, but it was over before it even started, man. Like,
yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna grab dinner at like a really quick, right? And you come back and it's already done.
Like, if you wanted to skip the first mirror matches or something, like, I'm gonna come back to watch Scarlett in an hour, and then it's already done.
Rip.
Shame on you. Shame on you, then.
At least they were fun, you know.
Oh,
seeing
yeah,
the innovation builds that tend to be used once again by MaSa kind of went along the same lines last time. Harsh.
Yeah, he's gonna have to refine it a little bit more, but Scarlett had a beautiful response too, right? Like, you're really gonna see that response like straight up from most people. I think Scarlett might have been in MaSa's head, like, oh wait, okay.
Yeah, I think because what she scouted, you know, wasn't really the full explanation. She just kind of was like, I think this is what's going to happen based off of seeing a starport at all, which if they're constantly playing to their own ladder, I can imagine that's what he's always trying to do. So there's, you know, that's the end of it. 2-0s all around, but that is also the end of the group.
That's it.
Swiss group. So
all of it. Yeah. So we're going to be going into brackets, I think, after this. And there's also a losers bracket. Remember that too. So I think that's the bottom four. Yeah, I think the bottom four end up going.
Bottom four.
They have to fight, right, from the losers bracket.
Top 8 players seeded into winners. Bottom 4 lower bracket.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful time. It was a good cast, ZG. I mean, it was just over like it started, but damn, fun times, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got one cast, lasted an hour, and then I'll see you guys never again.
Possibly, maybe. I don't know. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the broadcast today. Thank you so much, ZG, for filling in for Fear Dragon, whose birthday it is today. So definitely go wish him a happy birthday, guys, if you haven't already. If you have Twitter, Facebook, or have him on whatever social media. I don't think he has a Snapchat or Instagram yet, but we'll work on it. But yeah, if you have anything that you would like to shout out before I go on the sponsors as well?
Just follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming, and thanks for letting me cast.
No doubt. All right. Much love to Joe, of course, for doing the observing and the production. Huge thank you to ES Champ for making this all possible, in addition to the sponsors that make it possible, which are Chairs for Gaming, Asus, Republic of Gamers, and Matcherino. So yeah, definitely use those codes, you know, KOTN4 to add to the prize pool. And if you're thinking of getting a chair, you can use the code ESChamp to get a good little discount on a chair. So until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tempo. This was Zombie Grub, and we are out of here.
Bye.